Hello YouTubers, I want to welcome you to another edition of Bargain Bin Gear. And the last few months I've been spending in my living room studio, and really kind of have neglected Studio A. I'm not sure how that came about. Anyway, in this episode, I'm going to take you into Studio A, and I'm trying to revive it here. So let's take a look. Alright, now here's Studio A in progress. Of course, we're met by the guard. Right, there he is. Oh, this little statue's been around forever, so. It guards the entrance to Studio A. Now, first thing to notice are the nice carpets. And these are real. These aren't cheapos. It's the real deal. Alright, very first thing in the corner, we have our Supro amp, right? Very nice tube amp. These are quite expensive at the time. It's a 15 watt reverb amp. Then we have a big old PA speaker. Right here it's a JBL 15 inch. Hope to get that running again. Then we've got a Princeton chorus. Pretty cool. Solid state amp, but it's one that I really like with the chorusing. And then here, underneath it, or underneath this protective cover is, let me show you. There it is. Deluxe reverb amp. Sweet. Tube amp, obviously. Below that, a Black Star amp, HT Club 40. Next to it is a Fender 1x12 cabinet that goes with this head. But in between it is the Boss Next Tone 40. Alright, so that makes that side of the room so far. And this may change for sure. Okay, now here's the deal. Across this room, right, I put in this rope light looking stuff, right? Several layers of it. And it goes all the way across the room here. Turns and goes all the way down that wall. And down the bass trap down there. Alright? And the problem, and you'll see it even here, is the doofus who put this room together used this cruddy, textured ceiling. And that textured ceiling causes the rope light not to stick, right? Which drives me crazy. Now, here though, I've got wood paneling we put in, right, for this protective audio stuff, right? And so it sticks there, it's okay. And here it is, and it runs off a standard remote control. So I guess you've got all kinds of different lighting effects. Right. Like there's one. Anyway, we'll stick with blue. The problem is, I'm going to have to redo all this stuff, because look, it's coming off. Right, this one's totally coming off. So is that one. It's because of the sealing, right? Isn't done right. That damn textured stuff they put on there. And look, what is this? It's turning red instead of blue. I mean, that's to be expected, I guess, because it's old. Alright, anyway, it goes down here, and here it just came off totally. Look at that. But it's ready for more because I put some wood up there. I need to put some wood here. Alright, anyway. So there you go. So that's kind of a pain. Runs over this door. Ugh. And nice thing is the door is padded too with air, or I forget what it's called. Anyway, oops, this audio stuff. Okay, then of course at the entrance we have the Endless Summer poster. And it's so beat up it's hard to believe it's still working. It's kind of ripped and stuff. Anyway, whatever. Alright, moving on. Here we have on the floor, we have another deluxe reverb that's going to go on the other side eventually. And in the middle here, we have this huge rack. It's got a mixer up at the top covered with cables. And then a bunch of stuff. Power amps, effects, multi-effects units, and stuff like that. And then this is a Roland 1680, I think it is. Right. Then we break into a second carpet. Very nice one. And then here, believe it or not, that's the old pedal board. I need to revise it. It looks scary, man, with all those cables. But it actually makes sense. I pulled two of the pedals off of there. They either wasn't using anymore or were kind of duplicates. In particular, I have this H9 pedal right here, and I had a time factor pedal, which is a delay pedal. However, it was identical to what's in the H9. Okay, my battery's running low. Okay, anyway, there's another Supro. We've got a pair of those, one on each side. And then two acoustics, the Teton, right there, which I really like. I don't play it very often, though I should. It's on a Fender stand. And then I forget what it is. Oh, a J Junior, right? An electric pickup. And it's set up with tape, right? And then next to it, another JBL 15-inch PA speaker. Okay. Then here we've got these two lights previously, and they work better in here than they do in my living room. So I moved them. And then moving on, there on the shelf we have a Mackie HR 924 monitor, studio monitor speaker. Got a pair of them here. Right. And we have the bonsai tree. There it is. Alright. Now here we've got a little rack in it. And it has a mixer on the top. Same kind of thing, a bunch of rack mount stuff, multi-effects, There's an old Alesis, right, ADAT, and then, well, some other stuff, multi-effect stuff. Okay, moving over to the desk here, right, there's the desk. I got 2 old computers under it. Okay, of course my camera battery died. Alright, so basically we have this Mackie HR824, and it has a stand which is right in the corner there. It's hard to see with that light. Next to it we have a pair of PSB monitors, or speakers really. There's one over there too. And those are great sounding speakers. Now here's a weird thing. Look at this thing. Do you see that? I don't know how. I bought that at a Goodwill. I mean, is that weird or what? It's got 2 lights, 3 LEDs on the bottom, and then this spinning kind of disco ball. But it doesn't really do anything other than that. So it's kind of bizarre. I mean, you would think that it'd be like the lights would be more powerful or something, but that's not the case at all. Anyway, they're just for fun. Okay, now we've got this big monitor above the guitar clock. I don't know if that works or not. I haven't really plugged it in, you know, but it's that neon clock. And there's some more of that rope light. Some of it's coming off already because of that stupid ceiling. Anyway, but here's a big old TV. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. Right, and it's really old. And I'm not sure if I can get it to turn on, then it could be usable, but I don't know if it does. It powers on, but it just doesn't turn on. And it doesn't have a, well, the guts of the TV, if you like. It's not like the smart TVs of today. Anyway, then here we've got 2 monitors, one of which is up and running. I haven't messed with this one yet. And they're kind of older too. And then here we have a little TV hooked up to cable, kind of a cable box, a little tiny thing. Right there. And basically it plays TV just through HDMI.
I can just see it right now. He's making the notes for his new book. He wants to win the...
See, but it can also handle VGA. Then, of course, the 2 computers. And both have been recording computers over the years. However, take a look at this one. It's running there, and you got the video and stuff. This is one I built an old computer out of parts, and it's right here. May actually use it because now granted it's older because it's running Windows 7, but I put 2 drives in it, and it's got 8 gigs of RAM, and I think it's like a 2 terabyte drive or something like that. It's a big drive. Let me see. We can take a look here. There it is. Let's take a look. Alright, so it's Inspiron 570 with an AMD Athlon 3 gigahertz X2 250 processor, 8 gigs of RAM, 64-bit operating system. Okay, and then what about the hard drives? It has a DVD burner, of course. Let's take a look. There we go. So yeah, we have a almost 2.72 terabyte drive, and then a C drive, which is sad. It's only like 283 gigabytes. Anyway, there you go. And I might actually use that. I don't know. Because remember, I don't need to do any video here. I can do that out on the little mini PC. Alright, anyway, continuing around. Alright, then we have a rack unit here. And here it's got a subwoofer, 2 shelves, and then above it it's got 2 little orange amps, the drum machine. Okay. And here, I don't know, I might change this, are some really old laser printers. Where are they? There they are. And these are big boys. These are huge HPs. And they work fine, but you know, I don't know how I got a hold of these, but I used to use them quite a bit. And then this is actually a light. Kind of a sunlight type thing. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Alright. Above that we have 2 Bugaras. Alright, little 5-watt tube amps. In the middle should be a bass amp, which it will eventually be. And you'll notice that here I have a power section. And I've got 2 crossover boxes here in the corner. And there's 2 different items right here. Okay, the first one is an HX1 pedal that's going to go on the pedal board. And the second one is the core of the studio, really. And that's the Motu Express. The same kind that I have in the living room. Alright, now, here's some stuff to move. Obviously some cleaning stuff, you know. But here is a big old JBL. We've got a pair of these. They're huge. Right? They're not hooked up at the moment, but... And then we have an Albion amp. A little tiny Fender 10G, and I think there's another one in the corner. And then, I don't know, what is this? Oh, I think, let me see. Yeah, we have a Fender X2, sweet. A Fender X2 here behind me. I have my hand on it. It's on a wrapping of Fender X2. Here's a 1x12 Fender cabinet, and that's going to go in the other corner, right? And then what is this other one? Oh, looks like we have 2 of those cabinets. I don't know, I haven't even gotten back here. God. Yeah, I think it's another one. We don't need 3 in here. Alright. And then here's where kind of like the lighting is broken. So it's hanging down. Some of it works, some of it doesn't. We'll have to fix all that. So anyway, this is going to be the studio eventually. And I just put this carpet down. And I don't have it down fully. I wanted to see if it would roll with the chair and not ruin it, you know. And it seems to be doing pretty good. So I'm gonna have to arrange that, you know. It'll be fine. It looks to be about the right size. That's great. Because truthfully, this kind of a wood paneling floor, right? Had I known, man, I would never put this stuff in. What crap. Doesn't last very long. And look at that. Oh, it's not pretty. Right? Yeah. That was from I think a flood from the ceiling at one time or something. I don't know. Anyway, not very pretty. Okay. So anyway, that's where I'm at right now. I'm actually pretty pleased with this little PC. Might actually use it because it's actually fast enough, you know. It can do video. I mean, I'm running this little stupid Microsoft video just to see if it's capable, you know, and it seems to be no problem. And beside that, I'm running an audio app right there, so it seems okay. We'll see. We'll see. Alright, so that's where I'm at right now. You know, working on this thing. Still have quite a bit to do, of course. And getting things hooked up correctly. You know, so that it's actually usable. You know. The lights are kind of frilly stuff, you know. At the time it was a big deal. I still like it. I love the standing floor lamps here. They're pretty cool. But also getting the amps hooked up, and then the mixer and the studio monitors, and I may put a recorder here on the other side here. I'm not sure yet. I don't know. Another thing I want to get running is this thing. It's pretty cool. You basically pop in a hard drive and it'll read on your computer via USB. Right? Pretty cool. But it needs a 12-volt power supply, and I have no idea where that's gone. I think it's this power supply, but I don't know, something happened to it on the other end. So I may have to get a replacement, I don't know. Alright, so lots of work to do still. But it's getting there slowly but surely. Alright, see you next time. Okay, bye.